How can I clean my mesh drum heads, and what products can I use to clean rubber cymbals are questions that come up a lot. Now, it's not entirely necessary to clean them as it is purely cosmetic, but if your electronic drums are looking a bit tired from lots of use, here's how you can restore them back to a newer looking state. Mesh heads are pretty easy to clean. There are a couple of methods you can use. I usually do mine in the sink because that's what I've got at home, but I will show you the other method too. As you can see, this head has a build-up of dust and debris around the edge where the head meets the rim, and there's a patch from my sticks picking up dirt where I often play my ghost notes. All you really need is a light scouring pad and sponge like this, ideally clean, not too abrasive and not so cheap that it'll just fall apart. Get some warm water going, fill up the sink and throw in some washing up liquid, or dish soap as some might know it. And it really is as simple as it looks here. I tend to use the softer sponge side for anything that doesn't require much effort to remove, like the debris around the edge, and I think it's probably best to only use the scouring side where necessary. Then get plenty of soapy water onto any dirty patches and gently use the scouring pad to lift off the muck. Some people might say don't use a scouring pad at all, but hey, it's worked for me without any damage so far. Just keep it gentle and I'm sure you'll be fine. Mesh heads are pretty hardy. Then just rinse the head off and try and remove any suds from between the mesh layers, because if you've got multiple plies like this, there are a lot more holes in the weave for water or soap to get trapped. Give it a good slap if you need to. You can either leave it to air dry, maybe stick it outside if it's nice, or if you're impatient like me, I usually get a tea towel, wrap it around both sides of the head and give it a good rub. This seems to be the quickest method that I've found for toweling them down. You could just stick the head on an empty drum shell and smack it out with your sticks, but that is pretty barbaric and you'll probably get wet socks. Okay, that's enough of that. As long as you can't see any water on the head and it feels dry to the touch, then you're good. On the other hand, if you've got access to a dishwasher like I do in this shared kitchen, you can actually wash your mesh heads in the dishwasher. Just throw the heads in, chuck in your usual tablet or whatever, close it up, whack it on a cycle, and then come back when they're fresh. Some people will advise that it's best to do a cold wash, but I just put it on whatever this cycle is and it came out fine. Moving on to rubber cymbals. Rubber cymbals tend to pick up a lot of stick marks, especially if you use wooden tips like I do, and they can often be a bit of a dust magnet as well. Fortunately, cleaning your cymbal pads doesn't have to be too much of a headache either. There is a particular product that many people recommend, and I'll get to that shortly, but whether you want to use that or not, the first step is giving the cymbal a wipe down with a damp cloth. You really don't need that much water on the cloth, just enough to remove any obvious markings or dust. Then I usually just get another different dry cloth and wipe off any excess water. As you can see, the cymbal looks way better already, and you can actually just leave it there if you want to. But if you also want to help protect the rubber and restore a bit of a nicer finish, many people will recommend this product, 303 Aerospace Protectant. A lot of people confuse this for a cleaner, but it's actually more of a treatment that you work into the rubber to protect it. There are a few other 303 products, and it's the Aerospace Protectant that you want, not any of the other kinds of cleaner. You basically just want to apply a decent amount onto the cymbal, then give it all a good wipe over and work it in until it's completely dry again. The instructions on the back do explain this, but they also recommend using a cleaner, which isn't necessary on this as far as I know. We just used a damp cloth, and that seems to be enough for the cymbals. And to be honest, you don't necessarily have to wipe it down first, but I just find that getting rid of any debris or marks to begin with really helps. Once you've worked in the protectant and it's dry, the cymbal should have a nice matte finish and it will look much closer to how it did when you first got it. I'll show off more examples now of a bunch of different cymbals in various states. This stuff works great on any of them from Lemon to ATV to Yamaha. Even my metallic grey CY15R takes to it well, although the difference afterwards isn't quite as obvious as it is on a black cymbal. Now, it isn't always that easy to get hold of these 303 products in different territories. It seems to be readily available in the States, but it's on and off with supply in the UK. I've only really been able to get it from Amazon and it's not always in stock. Some people do have recommendations for other products and I'm sure that some of them will work well too. I just haven't tried them myself, so I can't say for sure. You can also use this on the rubber rims of your drum pads. It works great. Just make sure that you remove them from the drums first so that you don't get any of this product on your mesh heads, as it can leave stains on them. Don't forget to check out my other electronic drum FAQ video. There are numerous questions that come up a lot and I'm doing my best to try and answer them all where I can. There are also some things that you need to avoid when using electronic drums. You can check out what they are here too. And if you want a quick way to get better sounds on your electronic drums, why not check out my store at the eDrumworkshop.com. See you in the next video. Cheers!